On February 20th, Pastor Andrew Clark will succeed me as the next lead pastor of Anthem Church. On February 27th, I will preach my last sermon here at Anthem Church. Now, how did we get here? The emergence, the calling, the gifting of a young man named Andrew Clark. Well, I never saw him coming. It was out of left field. When I got to this church, he was going to UCLA pursuing things that had to do with medicine. That didn't quite work out as he planned. And so he returned to this church, rolled up his sleeves, got involved in ministry, and I thought to myself, this kid's going nowhere. No, even then, I know, and I knew what you all know now. Andrew showed extraordinary promise as a pastor and as a communicator, and so I redirected a lot of my effort and energy into Andrew. I had no idea what I was doing at the time was actually grooming my successor. As Andrew began to grow in his leadership and in his communication, more responsibility was conferred to Andrew, which left me with less and less responsibilities at Anthem. I became an overpaid consultant. And the emergence of Andrew Clark has this interesting question that's tied to it, which is, who's going to be the right and future leader of this community here in Marin County? Because normally when a young man comes up through the church and is groomed for this kind of role, who is called to lead and to be a pastor, you send them out to go plant a church or to go lead in another community and cut their teeth. But Andrew's from here. He bleeds here. All of his family is here. Nobody understands Marin County and this community better than the young man, or at least at that time, the young man that God brought to our church. So then that started making me ask questions about me. I would begin to push into Andrew and ask Andrew the questions that Andrew was maybe unwilling to ask or answer because he loves me. That I would be intentionally open to a call elsewhere and see what God does. And through that process, over that year, all of last year, God confirmed to us as elders that Andrew is called to this place in a unique and specific way for this next season that I am not. Do you trust the elders of this church? Do you trust the men who have helped me come to this decision over the last year? And if you do, trust that God has worked through good men for a good long time to bring us to a place where God is going to do a very good thing. Right now, you are feeling grief. What cancels grief is gratitude. Gratitude and gratefulness for the season that God has given us together. Gratefulness for how this process has unfolded in a way that is sustainable for all. Gratitude because grief focuses only on what we're losing or what is changing or what is being taken. Gratitude focuses on what you have already been given. And I'm grateful for you, Anthem Church. I am so grateful and thankful that I have served along the kind of elders for 13 years that I could do this out in the open with and not in secret. I am so grateful that they have been willing to walk with me and alongside of me, asking the right questions, sometimes the hard questions. I'm so thankful for all of you. I spoke with 19 churches over this last year, 6 recruiting firms looking for a calling, not a job. The elders helped me even form my interview questions at times. I talked to churches in Oregon, in Reno, Sacramento, San Diego, and my family almost ended up in Albuquerque. When it was all said and done and the dust had settled, our family will be moving back to Southern California at a church in Camarillo, Ventura County. Which is a certain kind of grace, because that's where all of my kids are migrating. 40 minutes door to door from the church to where my son goes to college. Likely, not certainly, but likely where my youngest daughter will go to college will be in Southern California. It also coincidentally takes me back to my roots, and the last thing that makes this a good transition for me and my family is something that my wife cares about more than me, but she has always questioned my sustainability in the colder climate here in Marin County because of the nerve damage in my right arm. She has always wondered about whether it would be better and healthier for me sustainably in ministry to move to a warmer climate. She ended up being right. I'm not moving on. Moving on suggests that I don't love you and that this hasn't been the greatest spiritual romance of my life. I'm not done with you. I'm not over you. I'm not tired of you. I'm not moving on. I'm not moving up. Moving up suggests that this isn't enough for me and that I want to go somewhere that's sexier and that is bigger and that is brighter and that I want that I'm not moving up. I'm not moving on. I'm not moving up. I'm just moving out of the way. And I know that it is the right thing to do.